Boundaries are there to serve a purpose. I took all of that and I held it in. And I suppressed it. From that moment, I choose to set my boundaries. I continue my path. I continue my journey. Am I really honoring who I am? That I don't need to explain anything unless I feel I want to. You don't need to explain yourself. Boundaries are there to serve a purpose. And don't confuse them with guards or walls up. That's different. I have learned that I lived my life without boundaries, or I had boundaries. So scratch that. I had boundaries. I just didn't express those boundaries or make it known that there were boundaries. I allowed people to just do what they want to do. Be how they want to be towards me. Yes, be who you want to be. Do what you want to do. But when it comes to me, I had to learn that I don't have to accept everything that someone offers me. If someone offers me a plate full of shit, am I going to take it and eat it and be happy? No, but that's what I was doing. Everything given to you does not have to be received, and that's where boundaries come in. And you say, hey, I'm cool. That's not for me. No, you go ahead and do that. That's not for me. I'm good. That's not for me. That's what boundaries, and you don't have to explain. Not only did I let people walk across my boundaries, jump over, skip, dance, do whatever they wanted to do the moonwalk. And my boundaries, they were doing everything. And I didn't say anything. I didn't do anything. And but I did do something. So let me take that back. I did do something. I took all of that and I held it in. And I suppressed it. And I'm like, I'm good, I'm strong. But strong is not that. Strong is not carrying things that are unnecessary. Yes, I mean, we can be strong and carry things that are unnecessary. That's not who we're called to be. We're called to purpose. We're called to do things in and with purpose. So if we're carrying something that's unnecessary, that's not our battle. That's not our fight. That's not our walk. That's not our path. And then we become burdened. We become burdened with so much that we begin to sink and shrink. And that's not who we're called to be. And then I did have this thing of, when I did say something, I felt the need to explain things. And let me just make sure my camera right, y'all, because it looks a little lopsided. I think we're good, but that's not who we're called to be. And it still looks lopsided. But you know what? As long as I'm getting the message out, which is my purpose, I always felt that I had to explain everything. This is why. And you know what? Even though I'm talking about this right now, I'm going to say this because just because you learn something doesn't mean that, oh, now everything's going to be perfect from here on and out. That's not it. We have to purposely, intentionally, choosingly. It's choosingly? Yes. If it's not, it is today. You have to choose. To take what it is that we learn and activate it in our lives in the moment. Because just because we realize something and we had a breakthrough doesn't mean that it stops there. We got to make sure that that breakthrough happened. If it happened, then we got to intentionally choose for it to continue to be your breakthrough, your moment. So we can learn something and go, oh my gosh, I received my breakthrough. And then if we go back, was it really a breakthrough? Or was it just a moment? It was just a moment. So even though we may have come to this point, we have to choose to act intentionally. So knowing that I've gotten my breakthrough on a lot of things, I'm still speaking to myself when I'm speaking to you. I have to be it. I can't just only think it. I have to do it. So if I have to do it, that means I am becoming it. I am being it. So we can't just take something and learn. So even in my journey right now, the breakthroughs and the moments of revelation that I've had, I have to, when something else comes my way and presents itself on my path, I have to look and calculate and think about, what is it that I've learned? Did I truly learn it? Did I really learn it? So let's see. Let's put this to the test. Am I going to walk the walk that I taught? Or am I going to walk the walk that I taught that I really am not walking? We have to do that. And so even I'm speaking to myself right now, I don't need to explain who I am. Either it is or not. Either it is or it's not. And it's just as simple. If we have to explain everything that we do and why we operate the way we are, and I'm talking to myself, y'all, am I really honoring who I am? Maybe, but not really. I'm taking it off. I'm hoping that they'll understand and that they'll honor and they'll respect it. But if over-explaining, I'm going to say over, because you can't explain stuff that some people just don't get it and you have to explain it so they can understand. Then they have a aha moment like Braxton on Jamie Foxx show.
This could be it. I bet people will find you hilarious.
Yeah, but I'm not doing comedy, bro. I'm singing. I'm singing.
Like I said, people will find you hilarious.
And people will find you halitosis.
Y'all need to watch that. That is a all-time favorite. Like, that is one of the best shows ever, alongside Martin. And I'm not just saying that because I'm black, y'all. You know, Braxton P. Hartnett. His name was Braxton P. Hartnett on the Jamie Foxx show, for those of y'all, and we're gonna put him right here so y'all can see him beside me. But anyway, if you have an aha moment, we need to act like we had an aha moment. We need to stop acting as if we never heard this, or we've never learned it, or we never received it. I don't need to explain myself any further. Either you trust or you don't. And it's not trusting me, it's trusting God. It's trusting you, it's trusting your being, your existence. It has nothing to do with me. And so when we're operating in a place of not trusting, that's when we over-explain, and we feel the need to over-explain, and then people question you and they ask you why and this and that. But if they're coming from a place of trusting, there's no need to question, because it truly is what it is. And all things work out for you and for I. So if we're always questioning something and doubting something, are we really trusting? No, we're not. We're not trusting that our path is laid out like golden bricks that present itself and unfold in our life and our journey. We need to have control. That's like if someone needs to hear your explanation of why something is or not, that's a form of control, and I'm going to tell you that right now. And today, I vow to myself, I vow to me, who I am in existence in this being, that I don't need to explain anything unless I feel I want to. But not explanation to get validation from you, seek honor and pleasure and esteem from you, but my validation comes from within. So I vow to myself to not over-explain anymore. Either you respect it or you don't, and I respect that. Either way, I respect what you don't respect. I respect what you do respect. So we need to operate in that manner, and we're operating in that manner. We're operating in our true queendomship. Kingdomship. Either one, kingdomship, queendomship. And that's what I choose to operate in. So I make a vow and I promise to myself, Sophia, you will set your boundaries and they will be set. You will not over-explain your boundaries, because when you do over-explain, just know that you're giving people the opportunity to edit your boundaries. Why over-explain something that already is? Either they see it or they don't. Not saying that you don't have compassion and understanding and consideration. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying be cocky, be arrogant. But we have to protect who we are as beings. Our energy, our surroundings, our environment. If you let everybody, everything in, even when we have the wisdom and understanding that we shouldn't, are we really protecting ourselves, or are we setting ourselves up for something to happen, to go wrong, and I'm not even gonna say misstep, because I believe that everything that happens, we should be learning from it. We should be gathering something from it. But we open up the door for things to go, I'm just going to say sideways. And that's not, sometimes, I'm just going to say sometimes things do have to go sideways for us to get the point. A lot of things went sideways for me to get the point, and I have to say that. And I'm one of those ones who, I actually like experiencing things on my own to know firsthand. Not everybody's like that. They like to watch people and see them and they learn from that. I can do that too. But sometimes I like to go through it on my own. And some people may see it as arrogance. But I don't see it as arrogance. And that's my view. It's not for you to have my view. And it's not for me to have your view, but to have my own. And this is why boundaries need to be created. That's, just like if those of you have VR, Minicourse, and we play that. I love that. I play it with friends. The first thing they make you to do, that makes sense, but the first thing they make you do is set your boundary, because they don't want you walking into stuff and hurting yourself, knocking yourself out, or even knocking other people out. So you set your boundaries. Is this where you are? Okay, good. We're going to set that and we're going to make that clear and we're going to make it straight. So when you see that, you'll see that you're outside of your boundaries. And if something else comes, they in your boundaries and you can see it. They cross the line. That's how we got to be in life. Set your boundaries. And when people cross it, you see it, or they get close to it. I choose to walk in my confidence. I choose to walk in my authority. I choose to protect myself. I choose to have my boundaries. I choose for my boundaries to be, I choose to make my boundaries clear and known. I don't have to explain to anyone else why my boundary is here. Why is this far? Why is this wide? Or whatever it is. It's my boundary. And if I need to bring it in some, that's a journey for me to go down, not you. I don't need to explain that to you. I don't need to explain that to anybody. That's where but validation from others come in. And that's what my journey has been most of my life, is making sure I got validation from everybody. Make sure I got everybody else's buy-in. I don't need everybody's buy-in. That's not for me. The only buy-in I need is mine. Period, point blank. Period, point blank. That's the only boundary you need. That's the only validation you need. It's from yourself. The moment we give others an opportunity to edit, to forecast, to project, to manipulate, is when we have given power to something else outside of ourselves. And my, you know what? It is what it is right now. Because this is playing with me, but see, it hasn't learned the boundary yet. But this boundary is going to be set straight. You're going to be over here right now. And I'm going to let you know when you get over here that you're out of place. Or maybe it's not out of place. But for now, your boundary is over here on this side. Anyway. That's when we get off into people pleasing. And I had that. And no longer are we going to people please anymore. No longer are we going to get our validation from our friends or family or partners. We're going to validate ourselves right here. We're going to put a stamp on it. We're going to seal it, and we're going to deliver that. That's what we're going to do. And if we need to sign it, we can sign it too. But sometimes you don't need to sign stuff. If you stamp it, you seal it, you get it out, it's delivered. It's good. Whatever makes you feel good. But no longer are we going to tolerate. We're not going to over-explain. And I'm not trying to mix this up with communication. Communication is good, and we should communicate. But we shouldn't have to over-explain why we have the boundaries that we have set. And if you're in the workplace and you feeling like your boundaries are crossed, I challenge you to set your boundaries right now. It took me years to figure that out. And I had a lot of lessons. And I felt like God was like, you know what? Everything is happening to you all at once. Yes. And this was recent. Everything's going to happen to you all at once for you to get this lesson that you've been trying to get for years. Through friendships, through everything, through relationships, different relationships. You're going to get this. You're going to get this. You've been asking. You say, let you get what you need to get. God was like, I'm going to let you get what you, because you keep asking for it. But I'm going to get it to you the way that you can receive it. And that's exactly how I guess I needed to receive it. Because my head was too hard. I was too stubborn. I was too in my own way. I wasn't trying. I don't know what it was. I wasn't hearing it. I wasn't seeing it. But I kept asking, I want to get it. Give it to me in the way that I can receive it. That's all. Something I always say. Give it to me in the way that I can get it. I don't care about anybody else and how their journey went. That's great. Bless them. But get it to me how I can receive it. And that's how I lead. I give it to people how they can receive it. There's no point in me wasting energy that's not going to be received. There's no point in me talking to you in a way that you're not going to receive it. It's wasting energy. We don't need to do that. So in my life, I ask continuously, give it to me how I'm going to receive it. And so, boy, did I have a time. And it couldn't have gotten any, it could have got worse, but it couldn't have been more turn on the light-ish. If it is today. It is. We're talking about that. It is turn on the light-ish today than it was in this past year. I got moment. My breast and always, I got that moment so hard that everything was lifted. Everything was lifted off of me. I got it so hard, y'all. And from that moment, I choose to set my boundaries. If you cannot get with it, I continue my path. I continue my journey. I am choosing intentionally not to let that bother me, not to let that get to me, because hey, I'm me. Boundaries, y'all. Boundaries. Put it back in place, y'all. Like this piece of hair. Put it back in place, y'all. Tell it to get over there. We gotta go to the right, y'all. To the left, y'all. Take it back one time. Hey. 2 hops. But anyway, you gotta do your boundaries. So we're gonna do a toast to y'all because we are not about to let people run over us. I have been doing that my whole life and not anymore. So cheers to setting your boundaries and not over explaining them, and intentionally choosing you continuously. Cheers.